Hello, folks. Welcome back. I'm your friendly neighborhood shotcaster, Shar again. Raptor joining me on the caster's desk once again. And up next, we have got Fat Pikachu versus Team EEK. And I think this is probably going to be a pretty exciting one. Fat Pikachu and Team EEK, I think, are fairly well balanced. And so these are going to be two teams. It's going to be really, I'm hoping Fat Pikachu picks up a win on this one.
I do too. I believe in Fat Pikachu. I'm still of the opinion that everyone else is going to bow out and it's going to be Fat Pikachu winning the whole league. I am riding that hype train all the way to their final victory.
See, the beauty is once you have found the Venmos of your enemy captains, that's how you start winning these matches.
Exactly.
Well, let's go ahead and just hop right in on this. As we can see on the ban list already, we've got taken away the Twitch, Seraphine, and Kennen getting hovered. Hasn't been locked in yet, but probably will be here momentarily. All exceptionally good bans against this team because we've seen what Kongji can do in that bot lane when given a very powerful supportive support like Seraphine. And so it's just, you take that away from Omnipresent. You got to make sure, they've got to make sure Fat Pikachu is able to shut down that bot lane, because that is going to be where it is the most scary. Oh, and it looks like they're taking away the Janna on the ban because they were going to take the Kennen for their first pick.
Yeah, and something I want to bring up to people, because there was just an accident on my part. So that is not Doyan actually playing in the jungle. That is actually Kenny Train. We were notified in time on that. It just, we slipped on the graphics. Are good, might be. But that is instead going to be Kenny Train at jungle. So when we swap into game, you all see that. There's a reason for it. But back on the draft, Maokai picked up I think it's a very flexible champion. Can go in either the jungle or into the top lane. I think I prefer it in top lane personally. It's a very tanky champ, able to do a lot more damage than you expect it to. Once, or at least early on. Once it gets later in the game, not necessarily quite as much. Come on. You got to stop teasing us, Fat Pikachu. Pick the Pikachu champion. Pick Kennen. Give us the Lightning Rat. No, not the Hecarim. Lightning Rat. All right, fine. I guess we're going to get Hecarim in this again. They're just going to keep hovering it. They're going to keep torturing us. Like that, just straight up. They're just going to keep torturing us. That's what it seems like right here. But we've got the Hecarim picked up for for Kenny. So that'll be a very mobile champion. I think we've seen this comp before where they pick the Ziggs. It's a very good pushing champion if it's able to get ahead, if it's able to get to these towers. But if it's not able to go beyond that, then it's going to run into some issues. Yeah, and I think it's kind of revealed. Like, I feel like if you're gonna run Ziggs bot, you should always you should wait to pick your mid laner till the second phase, because now they know that you have a Zir. It's guaranteed that Ziggs bottom, and you can kind of figure out, okay, these are the kind of champions that'll go well with this. We just ban those out in the second phase. But and we'll have to see if EEK actually follows through with that. They do pick up the Kalista. Very good choice. Kalista very strong right now. I think that'll work very well. I think Kongji has proven very effective on the champion. And I want to say, is that his main champion?
I believe it might be. I just know it's a mechanically intensive champion, and Kongji is very good at being mechanically intensive. So it fits right into their wheelhouse. He's going to be using that to fairly good
it's not his main.
Effect. Yeah.
It's not his main. This is his 8th most played AD carry.
Gotcha. I was probably thinking of somebody else. But I have seen a lot of Kallistas lately, which has been kind of interesting. We have the Thresh and the Mordekaiser taken away.
Yeah, and I mean, I would have assumed the same thing. Don't worry, Thresh, Mordekaiser gone, Udyr gone. Obviously, way too strong a top laner. Don't want to have to deal with that. And they might actually ban out the Electric Rat. No, they're going to go.
No, they're just going to hover it on every choice.
They're just going to hover it on everything. Second phase of the ban, the Renata quickly coming through. Great pick with Kalista. You chuck it in, you ult, boom. The ult
the wombo combo into the Renato. Good setup here as we see more teasing for the top side here. It's got to be the top and the support here. So it theoretically could be Kennen.
No, they won't pick it. I guarantee you they won't pick it. They're just going to hover it every single time. They will not actually give us the fat rat, the lightning rat. Instead, they're going to take the smacking doggo. That is who we get instead. We get the Nasus. I'm just angry. I'm angry. Like that's just
could be Nasus support. There's still a chance for Kennen.
Nope. It's they're just gonna hover the rat. It's just gonna sit there. We're not gonna get the actual fat Pikachu on the Rift. I refuse to believe it. I refuse.
No chonker shoe for
see? What did I tell you? What
you're
did
right.
I tell you?
You're right. So scaling composition from the side. They're scaling. There's definitely scaling for Fat Pikachu. You have a Nasus. You are infinitely scaling. I actually think it's a really smart pick, and I still hope it's support. And my reason for that is that Nasus is like the biggest counter to Callista. You slow her attack speed, and then she can't jump like ever. It takes an eternity. So I do hope. Like I think it's actually a very smart pick. Like I think it's really, really smart. Malphite's gonna hurt into it, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna scale. You just sit there, you farm. Malphite can poke you with the Q. Okay, he poked you with the Q. Now you go take 3 minions or 4 minions before he gets it back up. And boom, you're just stacking. So I think this is the comp for Fat Pikachu. I believe in them.
As much as I would expect Pantheon, I am with you in wanting the Nasus support. I think that's a far better choice. We'll have to see once we hop onto the RIP what exactly they end up putting down there, because I think overall it would be better to have Nasus down there dealing with the Callista and the Renata. I just think that would go far better for Fat Pikachu. I don't know if EEK anticipates that though. I think they're expecting it to be a Pantheon support, so that's part of the reason why they picked Malphite. Or part of the reason the Renata is going to do as well as it is, and that Malphite choice is just going to be really good into creating a lot of disruption every time Fat Pikachu tries to engage or tries to run away.
Yeah, I think it's going to make it difficult for them to get out. I think this is the game for Fat Pikachu. I think this is it. But what are your thoughts?
I'm leaning EEK in terms of team comp. I like the way that their composition is set up. I love that there's so many different options for Callista, because ideally you want to give it to your support. Like you don't want to put the Black Spear on anybody else, but you could put it onto the Malphite and have them do a double charge where they charge in once, then you pick them up and throw them back in. I just think that's hilarious. I love doing it. But look at this. We do have a Nasus support. Like we were saying, like that is far better. That is a far better choice. So we will have to see how this ends up playing out. I am excited to kind of see how things go. My only real complaint for the way that these team comps are set up right now is the first 10 to 15 minutes of this game are going to go very slowly if the teams play it right.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I think it's going to be a very slow game. No one wants to really make any wild decisions, any wild plays in this matchup.
So you know what that means, right? It's perfect time. Hop over to FFS6.com, pick up a copy of the Connect.
I don't think you physically pick up a copy, but read the edition of the Connect that is live in our PDF files.
If you got a printer at home, you can print it out and pick it up.
Why would you hurt the trees, Sherrigan? I know you live in Texas and there are no trees, but why would you hurt everyone else's trees?
Well, because I'm angry that I only have 70 degrees as of yesterday.
Only 7. Oh god, it's still 90 here.
Oh my god, it's too hot. It's way too hot. Unlike this game, which is going to be very chill.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. There's the ice shard Malphite right there. It's going to be a chill game. I'd say it's a rock solid matchup that we're watching here per se.
I think it's a pretty rock solid matchup for the Malphite into this Pantheon. Pantheon might be able to chip away at it and get some nice damage off. Oh, look what we said about it being slow. Not necessarily going to go that way. Omnipresent getting a nice bit of engaged. Missiles going out. Do manage to actually find their target. Black Pink Trash getting brought pretty low early on by those spears from Kongji.
Yeah, so they're only level 1. I didn't see what Nasus leveled. I do not think it was his W to start, so a little bit rough for them until Rennie can get that. Or Rini can get that.
Arena, yeah.
Reyna, thank you. I don't know why I'm
Yeah.
I don't think I'm why I kept I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I've said this name
Oh,
before.
sorry. I was thinking Arena from Ver the Victor when you were trying to say another name.
Oh, no, I was thinking of the Nasus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I was like, did I be pronouncing this wrong? Anyways, though, once they hit level 2, that's when, there we go, boom, right there. He's got the E, now he's got the W. Pretty sure, I don't think he's taking Q stacks. No real reason to level the Q for a while, because you're not really going to be getting any stacks, especially running AP Nasus. So, rotation up from the jungle. Ooh,
nice.
I think they're going for this Azir's.
Yep, jump in by Stormblast, trying to get some damage off. Does manage to actually do a lot. Unfortunately, this mid lane's going to get a lot of dive on it, as we see a flash coming out from the Maokai, trying to get the target. XT brought super low, taking some tower shots, means first blood is going to go over to Kenny Train, as this horse just starts to speed around the map.
Yeah, 4 people roam up, but they're just too slow to follow up with XT, and he pushes the Azir back into the turret, and it looks like, oh, it's just a failed gank, whatever, nothing, no big deal. But after the turret shot, it's the go button for Kenny. He just comes in, slams the Maokai into the turret. It avoids another turret shot, but just puts him in perfect range for Azir. Pick up first blood, find themselves in a good position, and they might be looking for a second here. Kenny is looking.
Yep, Kenny's looking around to go on the ride on that crazy train, jumping around on that backside of this turret, doing the same thing that Fang Over Fang did. Isn't going to find anything, so instead they're just going to go ahead and take Krugs as a consolation prize. Good consolation prize for a jungler to steal your enemy's Krugs. So that it's going to be a nice bit of gold in their pocket, get some extra XP, try and set this Maokai even further behind. They're not going to realize that camp is gone until it's too late.
Yeah, they're not going to realize it in time, but... trying to think. Kenny's still hanging up around up here.
He wants to gank this, but if I was Kenny and Stormbless, I would call it off. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't dive under this turret, because we've got Pweezy here. He's got a great freeze. Like, this is a really, really, really good freeze. And so they're able to keep this wave from pushing too fast. And so we're going to see Stormblast go in for this engage, not able to get a full amount of damage off, but they do get the triple slash, so they're able to get their passive back fairly quickly. Right there, Spirit Flame getting onto Omnipresent, stealing away a lot of their health bar. And we can see right now the bot lane is back to basically full health. They already had a little back, got some items, so they're sitting all right, but the Ziggs is already behind in farm by a decent margin.
Yeah, it has a difficult time farming, especially early until it gets some AP. He did start tier, so it does kind of mess things up a little bit. Now with the Amplifying Tome, could find something. I'm curious to see where the Manassas build goes. Started a Spell Thieves, picked up a Armor Cloth. I feel like it's gonna be like a Frozen Heart or something to start it out, but they are buying themselves. They are getting a little bit of space here, and this is a time for Blackpink to get a little bit of that, catch up on a little bit of that farm while they're backed up here. Gold, basically, even actually though, with the lead from the kill, the first blood on Kenny Train, they are up about 600 gold, but still anyone's game right now. Only 6 minutes in.
It's 6 minutes in, and like we said, this is going to be very chill early on in the game. It's not going to be too crazy.
Oh, it's always crazy. It's crazy in FOF.
I would like it to be, but Mythic always has a little bit of a slower tempo. Like I said, look at this freeze. Pweezy doing a great job controlling this wave, going in on a Stormblast. They have the level advantage. They're able to keep this fight going, trying to get as much damage down as possible, and they do actually manage to get Stormblast down to a little bit below half health. Really optimal ulting range for Malphite. They don't want to push this wave under tower, unfortunately, but they're going to have to deal with that. But they are in a good spot to kind of be able to disengage here now that Kenny Train is trying to go on this. So they're trying to bait out the ultimate. Unfortunately, they don't. So Pweezy here is going to try and walk away. I think they're going to be perfectly fine. There's not a lot Kenny can do to stop them. So that means that we're just going to see this Rock Man just kind of hold his ground.
Yeah, there's just too many enemy minions in the way, so they can't really go into it. Storm is too low health right now. Can't really go in. Oh, but they're coming back for him.
Yep, Kenny's coming back. We got the flash coming out from Stormblast, the stun, and we do see that Pweezy does actually decide to ult on top of his target, so he does deal some damage. Dodging the spear means that we're going to be seeing the Hecarim, unfortunately, unable to get that gank, and a great counterplay coming out as the dragon goes over to Omnipresent and Arena Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't think Pweezy needed to really burn the ultimate right there. I mean, the flash, he could have just ulted out, Maybe thought he could just take the hit on them and maybe finish a target, but then realized couldn't. But still, gets out safe, draws all that attention. They managed to get the dragon. You know, they're looking good right now. The gold's about even, especially with that Infernal Drake in. About even right now between the two teams. So the next couple minutes are going to be really important. They're going on.
Nice engage right here. Rina is going to be brought very low and taken out under the safety of their own tower. Kongji just barely dodging these skill shots, knowing exactly where to step. Very, very well played.
Yeah. Knowing that it's still a very squishy Nasus, only doesn't have any health. It's just those two little like cloth armor. Easy pickup for them. And now they've finally gotten a gold lead for themselves on the side of EEK. Looking pretty good right here. This bot lane, I think, is going to be really important for the side of EEK. It's so much of their damage. Arena and mid, perfectly fine on the Victor, but this AD carry, this Callista for Kongji, that's where it's going to be at. And that's usually, I mean, EEK's kind of diversified a little bit, but still, a lot of this team's playstyle revolves around how big a lead Kongji can get. Didn't get the kill, got the assist, but you do it a couple more times, get it 1 or 2 kills on there, you're riding pretty high, and when your AD carry is, you know, peaks at Grandmaster in this, peaked at Grandmaster this season, like, that's something terrifying on the enemy team to go, oh god, he's starting to get fed.
Yeah, no, it's something really scary about Kongji is just the fact that they are very skilled. They have the macro knowledge and the micro ability to just basically play these out however they want. So you've got to make sure that you're aware of that. And unfortunately for Pat Pikachu, in my opinion, we're not seeing the proactivity around this bot lane that they need to get this Nasus ahead, get the Ziggs safely able to farm, and do some major pushes right here. Arena Thunder getting pushed under tower by the Emperor's Divide. Unfortunately, we're going to see Sundubu caught in that stun zone, but they're not going to be able to get taken down. Arena is going to be ganked by the Hecarim, and that means that they're going to fall. Very well done by Fat Pikachu to kind of press their advantage. That almost went the other way.
Yeah, that came really close to being bad for Sundubu, but he manages to tank it up. Not really a lot of AP yet on the side of Arena, so buys plenty of time. Arena still thinks she can get the kill, but Kenny comes in, picks up another 1-0 on this Hecarim. Been pretty solid here. That's another champion we haven't really talked about is Hecarim in this game. There's another champion that when it gets ahead, especially with the recent changes and a more focus on building AD and using your Q, is very scary.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately, we are seeing Kenny decide to back right here, not sticking around. We did see Callista Kongji very well done. Like, he basically just hid in the bush to be kind of bait out the fake recall so that they can engage on here. Flash ultimate's coming out. Massive amounts of engage by this team right here. Very well done. Omnipresent. She managed to actually get a very perfect ultimate, and they're going to take a couple of tower shots. They aren't able to pick up a kill, but that is a lot of summoner spells burned and a lot of ultimates used. And right here, we've got XT ready to continue this dive.
Yeah, XT looking for something right here, but the rest of Fat Pikachu has backed up. Hecarim does spot him out. So Kenny is here. There's a lot of low members now right here for the side of EEK. They've got to be careful. They have dropped the Herald. They are looking to maybe make a play. But if this Hecarim finds it, the ult's coming back up soon. We've got to back up. They can't really risk it.
They got 4 plates out of that play. That is a very worthwhile play, even though 2 of them were split 3 ways. Irina, in the meantime, doing a great job in this mid lane, getting a pretty good farm up on this Azir. However, they are a kill behind, so it's relatively even. And then in the meantime, we've got top lane as we just start to see this Malphite slowly starting to pull ahead. Kind of where I expect things to go, just because of the fact that I really think Pantheon is not in the greatest spot right now. It's like you got a lot of hard engage, but you're just not quite tanky enough to really be able to survive some of these team fights. And once things really get going, I think that if that dive is executed poorly, they're going to jump right into a Renata ult and just basically wreck their own team. Great Emperor's Divide, knocking Arena Thunder to the rest of their team, and that is going to be a huge pickup. Black Trash able to get some gold in their pocket, being unable to farm earlier, is now able to do something. Penny Train looking to continue this pain train and try and keep it going. Not able to get engaged, to get pushed back by XT, but that just means that this Drake now, the priority has shifted over to Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, but there are 4 people down here for the side of EEK, so they can still contest this. Pantheon isn't in range yet to ult in. They have started up this dragon.
Yeah, we're seeing this Dragon's Prio just once again shift, and it is going over to Team EEK now. And you basically got 2 smites set up right here with Callista. And unfortunately, Kenny Train just walks right into the enemy team. Massive ultimate as the hostile takeover catches multiple members. We see the bailout come out onto XT. XT is brought solo, decides not to continue the engage, doesn't want to risk giving up their life and avoiding getting taken down. Rene is trying to get the engage onto the to the
Nasus.
Maokai. The Nasus is trying to get the engage on the Maokai. That was where I was going with that. Wasn't quite able to get it though, so XT does manage to survive, and that is going to be 3 members of Fat Pink that get taken down for none and a Drake.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go so well for Fat Pikachu, but they just aren't able to get to Kongji, and Kongji just rips them apart with those spears, chucking 1, 2, 3, and rip, and they're dead. Stormblast went down so early in that fight, and now 3K up for the side of EEK. The gold swinging in their favor. Definitely in the driver's seat this game.
Yeah.
Now.
EEK is in the driver's seat. EEK's got things under the tempo that they want. They've already started to pull ahead. We are seeing a 3K gold lead, soon to blossom to 4. I really think that Fat Pikachu's on the back foot here, and they're not a team that wants to be on the back foot. They're a late game scaling comp. They need to get to the end of this game, and they needed to go 30 to 40 minutes. So if you're already at this point, not really where you want to go.
Yeah, you really don't want to be here this early in the game. And it's looking a little rough. They are still in it, though. This isn't over. They do still have scaling. Making it Nasus support, unfortunately, going to be... But, you know, well, the advantage of Nasus support is that you can take out the Callista's like ability to really auto attack in lane. Once you're at a laning phase, Nasus support struggles a lot because you really don't get your stacks. You really don't become that full champion.
Sweezy getting brought so low. The Ignite is out. They have to go unstoppable, but that is going to take them down. Oh my goodness, you got a little bit too big for your britches right there, my friend, and got burned way too much. XT and Stormblast both burning up their flash. Nice dive in onto them. They got the ultimate root coming out from XT as well. It means that we're going to see a revenge kill onto this Pantheon. The God of War has been deleted, and so that is going to be a 1-for-1 essentially in this top lane, which is just going to make the gold lead go even further in the side of Team EEK.
Yeah, but still good for Stormblast, managing to pick up a kill in the 1v1 against the Malphite. It's not something you expect on a Pantheon. So really good to see. But I was saying, you know, if this was Pantheon support, I think they would have had a better time in that bot lane and put the Nasus top. You can still use his W later on in team fights when the Callista's the real threat. But then you could at least stack. You get the Q stacks. You could start becoming like one. You could even one-shot Kongji if you got high enough. And ooh, Kenny.
Ooh. Kenny going in, trying to get in a fight, but unfortunately it's a 2v1, and you don't win those.
Nope. The horse has to run away. Can't beat an undead horse twice. Nope. He's gonna get out of that.
You can't beat an undead horse twice to death. It's already dead once. Omnipresent, kind of getting a little oversteppy. Good, kind of. I like that. Just the stopping the back of the Hecarim at the last possible second.
Yeah, just kind of delaying it all. Kenny is going to go for the farm, and now that's the call to go to Herald, though. They know the back stopped. They think he's still continuing the back. They don't know he stayed around. Good try to come up. No, he's actually going to do it back now, so they're just going to give this Herald for free.
Yeah, this is going to be a free Rift Herald over for the side of Team EEK. That's going to be the second one of the game. So now Shirley is going to be the one who is going to be helping push things. And we're going to see right here in the middle, Kongji on the other side of the package does not get pushed the direction that Blackpink wanted them to go. So that means that they're able to get away to safety, and that's just going to be the micro you need to deal with these bounces. Look at that. Look how fast that Callista clears and using the jump attack moves to perfection.
Yeah, fantastic. Kongji just showing why he is such a force to be reckoned with in this league, and why he's the scare when teams face him. Like I hear it a lot. Like they just go, okay, we just have to lock Kongji down. That we have to keep Kongji down. We can't let Kongji scale. This is why when Kongji starts popping off like this, it becomes absolute terror to deal with. An absolute terror.
You say that, but I don't think Fat Pikachu did that this game. They put very little pressure on this bot lane, and unfortunately Blackpink right here is going to find out, or Arena is going to be the one who gets all the pressure. With now their bot lane, now that the mid laner is bot,
Yeah, they managed to pick it up. And I was saying it more along the lines of that, like, teams generally focus. And this is what happens when you don't focus and you let the Kongji get out of control. This is what happens. And now, you know, they're going to get another turret mid. They might even be able to pick up 2 here. They don't really, they do have the Herald. It's going to get the charge off to pick up 1. I don't think they're going to go for a second, but they are going to go for this dragon. They're not going to overly
pressure this. We've got the dragon coming up in 30 seconds. And so there we go. Ziggs is going to take it down. This is going to be a really good dragon pickup, I think, for Team EEK, because it's going to put them on Soul Point already at basically 20 minutes into this game. And having 2 Ocean Drakes is always going to be really, really helpful, especially if you can keep your opponent from getting any.
Yeah.
Oh, that Renata loves this. Renata loves this. They love these choke points. They're just waiting for the hostile takeover to get thrown out as the rest of these members go in. Malphite ult is dropped. Hostile takeover is thrown in just as we see a dive starting to happen. Unfortunately, that means multiple members of Fat Pikachu get caught by it. So that's going to be a lot of hostile enemy friendly fire going on. And that means that it's going to be an almost ace for Team EEK to be able to pick that up as we see Fat Pikachu just obliterated.
Yeah, Fat Pikachu thinks they're being smart. It's like, hey, if we just walk through the river bushes, we won't eat the Renata ult. Well, didn't eat the Renata ult, but you sure ate the Malphite ult. They go down. Yep, Kenny gets half the ultimate off before he goes down, so doesn't even get the fear off. Stormblast just gets ripped up before Sundubu or Blackpink can even get into the fight. And once you've lost the Hecker, and once you've lost the Pantheon, the fight's basically over. There's not really anything you can do. There's no space you can buy. There's no DPS outside of Azir, and when you've got 5 people and Azir standing in the middle, in between all of them, it's a recipe for fried chicken is what it is. But now he's looking for Kongji.
Yep, looking for that. Sundubu's like, I gotta get this kill. I'm gonna take them down. I got this. Wait, no, I don't. As we got a TP coming in as now Kongji throwing a bunch of spears onto Stormblast. Stormblast used the shield, so they're not gonna be able to block the next amount of damage coming out here. And the Rend just rips their soul from their body.
Arena is looking for maybe being the 3rd one to challenge them in the 1v1, but Arena has found him.
You have been bothering me all game. It is time for my revenge.
It was a good attempt. It was really a good attempt. Like, Kongji was the target. He's 700 gold bounty on him. Is the threat, needs to be taken, but they just can't. He's so far ahead right now. 192 CS, now 5-0 and 5. Now 2 complete items. The Rage Blade is out. The Shield Bow is out. Already moving on to the Zeal item. It's gonna be a Hurricane probably. It's just so hard. And they need to throw like everything in the kitchen sink at EEK to take him out. I just don't know if they're going to be able to in a big fight.
The thing is, if you're going to throw everything in this kitchen sink onto Kongji, you got to make sure you're not following the mantra of 1 at a time, 1 at a time, 1 at a time. You got to go in as a 5-man all at once and just blow the thing up. Because if you do that, if you go in one after the other, Kongji's just going to keep throwing spears into his targets and just be like, oh, here's one. Oh, there's another. I'm going to rend the soul out of that one, throw spears into that one, rend the soul out of that. I'm good. I got my kills, and now I'm just going to walk out.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Oh, by the way, they took Baron.
Yeah, of course, they took Baron too. You know, just got to add more to it. They're up almost 9,000 gold right now. Oh, Stormblast.
Once again, we're seeing P-Sweezy jumping in on top of Stormblast. Stormblast getting brought so low, taking so much damage so quickly. Unfortunately, that it just means that we're going to see them forced out of this lane. And it's basically a reverse of the previous game. So, like, we're kind of seeing how Fang over Fang and his squad had total control over this game. Now we're seeing Kongji and his squad doing the same here. Like right there, Kongji just is absolutely dominating, gets a nice spear rend right there. We do see that the Renata ultimate is going to get dropped. It does actually manage to find Blackpink, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, and so it's not able to get a kill for the Renata. But we do see that Kongji is still alive, still has the bounty on their head, even though the Maokai was taken out.
Yeah, they were looking for it right there. They do manage to get the 1 kill at least, so that's something. They got a little bit of gold in their pocket, but they're just... EEK is just rolling through this right now. Kongji is just so massive, and now... Oh, I thought maybe they found him for a moment, but no, they did not. Turrets flashing. They're just gonna back out.
The thing is, Kongji is going to be totally fine because they have that bailout on them right there. They were able to dive under the turret looking for the kill. If Nasus had tried to stay and fight it, the assist would have basically come through, I think, so they would have been able to survive just fine. But as we can see right here, this game is just slowly starting to dwindle away. We've already got the last dragon, I think, coming up here in a minute 30. Once that does, it's going to be almost over completely for this team.
Yeah, I think
got the question mark pings being dropped on Arena.
Those are oh, I see. I see that she is going to maybe she's trying to channel her inner Fang.
Oh. No. The question mark pings were coming out from Fat Pikachu, as they're just like, what is Arena doing over here?
Oh, maybe trying to impersonate Fang.
Well, you know, the thing is while we were so focused topside, she was pushing the mid lane. So like she already took 2 turrets, like she defended or took another turret and basically took the inhibitor turret in the mid lane while they were dealing with everything up top.
That's true. That's true. So right now they're up 10,000 gold exactly. For the side of EEK.
Mm-hmm.
They're pressuring this. Dragon is up in 40. They're hunting in a bush. My question is, who do you think gets caught here in this bush?
In that bush right there, I have a feeling it is going to be Nasus.
I'm gonna think it's gonna be.
Well, now it might be Azir.
I think it's gonna be the Hecarim.
Yep, some Dubu walking down.
It's gonna be Pantheon. Here
Stormbless. No, don't you do it! Oh, the explosion's coming out. We do have the shield drop, but unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough. They're gonna get blown up. Kong Ji goes legendary, taking down Ziggs over the wall before Pantheon gets taken out. And then we're seeing Hecarim deleted in the bot lane by Arena Thunder, who's like, look, y'all have been bothering me in this mid lane for so long. Just leave me alone and let me do my thing. That they have now got a couple of items on them. They're like, look, I'm killing you all now. You are all dead. You are all dead to me.
Arena is tired of their shit. She's like, get the hell out of my lane. If you want to fight me 2v1, cool. I'll take one of you and I'll probably try the second too. But doesn't have to fight the Azir. They managed to get the turret.
It is time for the glorious evolution, essentially, as Victor is just ripping through these guys.
Yeah, indeed, ripping through them. And now, Dragon about to go down. XC just going to solo it very slowly. Doesn't need to worry. There's no one on the side of Fat Pikachu who can take it from him.
Which is funny because it's like they're so tanky that it takes you forever to take a dragon, but their Team EEK is so far ahead. They're like, it's fine. We can spend 45 seconds taking a dragon. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, and they've kept the pressure up this entire time too. That's the impressive part. That mid turret is so low now. They
someone just needs to go up and sneeze on it.
Yeah, they seem to go sneeze on it. It might be XD looking to sneeze on it, but I don't think trees can really sneeze, so it's kind of a hard thing to do.
The Kenny train going into his top jungle, trying to find something.
Yep, looking for something right there. It's a wacky and wild game. I wonder if he'll get to Elder. I wonder if they'll finish it before Elder.
Well, we got another 5.5 minutes before Elder Drake will spawn. Baron's going to come up first, so we'll probably see a play around Baron prior to that. In the meantime, Kong Ji is going to go ahead and take red buff, and we're going to basically see a 4-man. I don't want to call it a death ball. I want to call it a I guess just a bouncy ball, a 4-man bouncy ball that's going to get thrown at EEK and just bounce right off.
Yeah, and their only real solution is they just need to nuke Kong Ji before a fight starts. Before anyone even takes damage, Kong Ji needs to die. If Kong Ji doesn't die, then the fight is lost.
So if Pantheon can find Kong Ji and actually get on them in a kind of like either flash stun or flash or ultimate stun, something of that nature, then that will be really, really good because then you can have the Azir immediately jump in on the backline, Emperor's Divide, throwing Kong Ji in towards the rest of the team. You drop a Ziggs ultimate onto that spot where they're going to get knocked. So you got everything just getting absolutely dropped on their head. There's no Zillion on this team, so they don't have to worry about that like we saw last game. But we are going to see this mid turret fall right here, so they take that down. Unfortunately, the team is just so separated. The ultimate drops. The throne Renata causes the Azir to just basically send his sand soldiers to kill his own team. Sundubu doing so much damage to them, brings their health bars so low that eventually they get brought down completely. The tower is doing what tower does, which is absolutely nothing. And we're going to see that the Blackpink, once again, Ziggs is the only one left alive. Mid inhibitor is going to fall. This tower is basically paper. There we go. Blackpink's going to get jumped on by XD. We're going to have the Malphite thrown into the fountain, but he's not going to hang out there long enough to actually take any damage. And then we're going to see these towers just get completely ripped to shreds. And that that is going to be all she wrote as we see this game fall as Team EEK picks up the win and silences the Fat Pikachu.
One of these days they'll get that win. It was a good attempt from Fat Pikachu, but it's the Kongji train today. We're all just kind of living in it. Fantastic game coming out of EEK. Looking so strong today. It's always good to see, especially heading into the later half of the season. And even better, it didn't feel like it was just Kongji. It felt like the entire team. XT was doing fantastic ganks, absolutely phenomenal. The Malphite ults were great. Arena, fantastic work on the Victor. Even Omnipresent with the Renata hitting some fantastic Qs, hitting a couple ultimates. It's just, the whole team is really popping off. And I think it's really exciting to see.
I think Arena probably feels very frustrated that they were targeted so early in this game. And Kongji's like, that's just fine with me. I'm totally cool with that. I'm just going to sit in this bot lane and just, you know, I'm going to keep killing and I'm going to kill and I'm going to kill some more and I'm going to get some gold and I'm going to keep my support alive and throw them onto the enemy team. And we're going to hostilely take them over. And so, unfortunately, it just allowed this bot lane to run wild and do whatever they wanted throughout this. We saw some decent performance coming out from the side of Fat Pikachu. Like, I thought there were some good moments coming out from Sundubu, Kenny, and Stormbless. And they did very, very well trying to shut things down. I just feel like macro-wise, the targeting was a little bit off kilter this game.
I think the bottom lane, too, that's a rough matchup to play into it. Like again, Nasus W great into Callista. Kind of sucks when you're playing into Renata though, because Renata just kind of disables like the little amplification there kind of it nullifies a bit of it. And it unfortunately just didn't go in their favor today. But I still believe before the end of this season, we will see them pick up a win.
We will see them pick up a win. I do not doubt it. That's going to happen. And with that, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back with an interview with our winners, so don't go away.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here with our second interview of the night, and this time it's a combo. It is the bot lane of the victorious Team EEK. I'm joined by Kongji and Omnipresent. Welcome. How are you both feeling?
Oh, we're feeling pretty good. How are you feeling?
It's, I mean, the good thing is that it's looking like it's going to be a quick evening of friend or foe, because just a maelstrom of games here, just absolutely slapping down the other team. Let's talk about this game. Let's get into it. So, the thing that is kind of obvious about this draft, you know, they clearly had their sights set on you from minute zero, Kongji, and overall in the bot lane, in general, because they were willing to commit. Didn't matter what the cost was, they were going to put that Nasus in the bot side no matter what. There was some talk on the caster desk, of course, about the utility of, is there a reality where the Nasus actually can go into the top side, and they could have put this Pantheon bottom and played more aggressively with it, and then you get the Pantheon shield. I don't know about that, so give me your thoughts if you would. The both of you, let's start with Omnipresent on this one. What were your thoughts when you saw this draft as it unfolded, and what you ended up against?
When I saw Nasus, you know, obviously we instantly knew, oh yeah, we picked Kalista, they want to play the Nasus support, but they had a Ziggs bot, so we already knew the Ziggs was bot. I really thought they were just gonna pick like Ashe or something. In my mind I'm like, oh damn, they're probably gonna pick Ashe. That probably would have been a lot better for them. I feel like the Nasus didn't really provide much. Yeah, I feel like we outdrafted them heavily, though. I felt like in team fights, they can't really do anything. Hecarim ults onto our team, even tries to get Kalista, I have W. No, nobody. We got the Wombo combo, the Malphite R and my R. I just don't think. And Maokai R. Malphite, Maokai, Renata. I don't think they could have done anything in those fights.
Kongji, excuse me, Kongji, what are your thoughts about how the draft turned out?
I think pretty much like every single game I play, I'm drawing like 1 to 2 AD carry bans. Even to that degree, I still have a really deep AD carry pool. A lot of the picks that I am saving, though, I'm saving for deeper into the year. So like whenever I play against unique things, because I mean that's been like the sort of thing that has been happening and reoccurring in almost every game that we've played so far, is everybody's trying to find something unique that I've never, because I play these matchups all the time. So like if you're going to try to like figure out how to beat me in a standard matchup, it's never going to work. You have to pick something unique. And that has been what I've seen teams like fall back onto time and time again to beat us. And that has been like the go-to right now for people. Outside of that, I think moving Arena down to like being able to play other things than just Seraphine, she's been working pretty hard on that. XT is also picked up and like kind of committed to being a straight facilitator role for the team. And then when we have either Joey or P-Sweezy in the top lane, they're also playing that like facilitator role where they're trying to move around on the map and be involved in plays, especially plays that we're making as a team altogether.
Let's talk a little bit about the game itself. Of course, it was a bit of a blowout on your part against the other team. You were able to, you had the right ultimate portfolio, so to speak, to just absolutely destroy them with the composition that they had. Malphite ultimate, Maokai ultimate, Renata ultimate coming across, and of course the Kalista ultimate is both the offense and the defense ultimate. You can save Omnipresent whenever she gets a little too frisky out there. So I do want to ask you folks, in a game like this where you are popping off, what are the comms like in this? Is it jovial? How do you guys make sure that you don't fumble the bag in a game like this as you advance to 5 and 8, I believe, in the league?
So whenever we're going through comms, like even when we're ahead, I always like to make sure like it's always take care of business first, and then we get to celebrate afterwards. I mean, even when we were like kind of destroying them, like even through the like first kills on bot side, through the first Drake and everything else, we were always focused on the next play, the next objective, and that's like something I've been trying to like teach my team more or less, especially playing from like a high competitive, but like upper, like especially me playing with a like proving ground centric like background. whenever you make plays like that, it's okay to be hype and hyper, but then you have to stay focused. You have to keep your eyes forward on the next play, because that's what matters. And it's been kind of like killing us as a team a little bit. Whenever we get ahead or whenever we get excited, we make too many mistakes. And so I think that was the biggest focus, is like, yeah, staying focused and focusing on what we need to do to win and end the game.
Omnipresent, looking over at you, I do want to point out that, of course, you were carrying this team, Kongji, with just a pitiful 18 KDA, while you had, of course, the much more excellent 3-0-16 for the 19 KDA. How are you feeling about your role as he get the glitz and the glamour goes to the ADC that gets all the kills, in air quotes, but quietly managing this team exceptionally well, with, of course, the team fight oriented kit that Renata has, and the ability to control a big zone with her ultimate.
Yeah, I feel like after getting the kills bot lane, I was able to kind of roam free around the map, especially after they decided to swap Azir and Ziggs. They just kept people mid. I have no idea. I was able to just keep hovering my jungle, my top. Kongzi was getting free plate spots when they sent everybody mid. I feel like, and as long as I'm hovering my team, they can't do anything to them. So
nice.
It's just win-win. Kongzi's getting more plates. I'm hovering my team to make sure we keep pushing our lead and we don't give out any shutdowns.
Well, it's good that you both can rely on each other to separate as a bot lane duo and be able to put that pressure in multiple lanes at different times, especially as a support, being able to get together with the other lanes and shadow them, of course, when they need it to put out pressure, but also to relieve pressure when maybe things are not going so hot in their lane, and you can always count on Kongji to have a solid, stable thing to fall back on for the team. So I think we want to end there. And Kongji, I'll bring it over to you. What are your thoughts about bot lane and the attention overall that's been put on you, especially as we get further into the season? What has been your experience like?
My experience has been pretty straightforward. I think every single bot lane in the league is very afraid of me. I mean, even when I was playing against yesterday, even though we had lost, when we were playing against SLR, the rank 1 team, their AD carry being their highest ranked player, I could also see like he was getting very nervous in his play because he was doing a lot of jitter, like he was jittering when he was clicking, canceling a lot of auto attacks. And I think that's just been the main thing that every single thing that I've witnessed in every team I've played. They're always super afraid to play against me, and they're always super afraid to step up in lane or do anything. And then majority of the time, they just completely give up on their bot lane and just make their support move on the map. They do not care about their AD carry.
Omnipresent. Go ahead.
And that's just been the other thing. It's why we, or my girlfriend, Omnipresent, we're sitting right next to each other. She is my other half, in the sense of like, if I ever need somebody to stabilize on or somebody that can also move and also be a big impact on the map, she's the other person I can count on to do that. And I guarantee you, there's no bot lane support, AD carry support synergy that outmatches ours.
Omnipresent,
Tenfold.
How does it feel for you getting so-called the free aura buff, so to speak, of them being so absolutely terrified of Kongji as a support? You must be able to get a lot of free harass and free plays that you otherwise might not be able to get if they're not respecting so hard.
Yeah, they just don't care about what I play or my pool. I mean, my pool is fairly, just like Kongzi's, my pool is fairly big. Despite my OPGG on this account, they do have both of my accounts listed, but in a competitive game, rather than solo queue, I have a very big champ pool I'm comfortable with, but it seems like even out of the champions I most play in solo queue, like they don't care about what I'm going to play. Like they will just pick to mess him up. But they don't realize, like, I'm not terrible. I've been near masters, so I'm like, when I first played with Kong Z, when I met him in a solo queue game. So I'm not I'm not close to him, but I'm not too far off. Like they kind of forget that I'm probably going to Gap too, not just him.
There you go. All right. Well, before we step away, I'm gonna come back to you first, Omnipresent. Any final thoughts? Any shoutouts? Any banter? We'll go to Omnipresent first, and then Kongji to end it.
Just gotta don't completely tunnel on messing him up, messing up Kong Z. And you have to remember there's me too. Don't completely give up on your bot lane. It's troll.
Kongji.
Oh man, I just gotta say, like, I'm kind of disappointed with how players approach the league. I've had no direct. Well, no, I will say there's one team that has taken a direct approach to try to actually fight me in bot lane, and that is YOLO. And YOLO, that's a team that actually gained my respect when we played against them because they actually didn't say fuck our bot lane. They whoops, I shouldn't be cussing.
Everybody gets one.
They didn't just say screw our bot lane. They actually played into me and tried their best to shut me down throughout the entire game. And there is no team in this league that I think outside of them that has tried that approach and it's actually worked. Every other team is just deadly afraid of me. And I mean, I don't know what to say again at that point, other than like, at some point I'm going to ramp up. I'm going to get a feel for how these players play, and it is going to be over. I carry accounts through Platinum, Diamond, Masters all the time. There is nothing you are going to be able to do when it comes to playoffs when my team starts ramping up that you will be able to do to stop us, regardless of the scoreline. I will become a 1v9 machine. And that's all you need to know.
All right, and that's where we'll leave it then. Team EEK victorious today over Fat Pikachu. There is one more match coming up. It's Trickle Down Economics 2, Stonks Rising versus Universal Basic Income. The battle of the economics textbooks back yet again. We'll see you there.
Cause you